So now I am going to do the greatest commands broken down part by part. So we're going to start with the alto part first. So it's love one another, for love is of God. He who loves is born of God and knows God. He who does not love does not know God, for God is love. God is love. Then we're going to move on to the base part. This part you're going to have to take a little more time with. So, love bears, and instead of all things, we're going to do everything. So when they're saying all, use every for all things. And then B leaves all, every, things. Love hopes all, every, things, endures all things. Next, we have the tenor part. The tenor part is pretty quick, but we're going to do 3 different ways to say God is love. And if you just, I'll break it down and show you the 3 different ways. So the first time we're going to do it, we're going to do God is love. So that way it's God is love. The second way we're going to say God is love is God, and this is means. So God means love. And the third time you do it, you're going to go God describes love. Describes. So basically you take F hands and you're going to start with your right hand back. Describes. Go forward and back. Love. So it's a little fast, but it's God is love. 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 And then again, God is love. God is love. God is love. So that's 4 times. Then we move on to the soprano part. And the soprano part is love the Lord, thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, all thy strength, all thy mind. Love the Lord, thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me try that again. The soprano part, the first time goes through is love the Lord, thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind, with all thy strength. The second time it goes through is love the Lord, thy God with all thy heart, for God is love, God is love, God is love. So we do love the Lord. Now for Lord, you're going to place your L hand of your right hand on your your left shoulder here. Right L hand, left shoulder. And then this hand's just going to be flat and it's going to be against your waist like that. And they're just going to switch places. And you're going to look at this hand. So love the Lord, thy God, with all thy heart, with all thy soul, all thy strength, all thy mind. Love the Lord, thy God with all thy heart, And for God is love, God is love, God is love, because we've already done God is love for the altos, and God is love, God means love, and God describes love for the tenors, we're going to do He loves, He loves, He loves. And that last one you'll have to take some time on. Now the reason this song is so tricky is because they're not going to sing just the altos, just the bass, just the tenor, just the soprano. They're going to start with the altos, that'll be the easy part, and then the bass are going to join in, and then you'll have both the bass and alto singing when the tenor joins, and then all three of those singing when the soprano joins. So you really have to listen, and if you practice, it won't be a problem. So, I'm going to go through it a little bit faster this time, obviously not with the music because I just want you to see the signs. So we're doing love one another, for love is of God. He who loves is born of God and knows God. He who does not love does not know God, for God is love. God is love. Love bears all things, believes all things, love hopes all things, endures all things. Now for the tenor. God is love, 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 God is love. Now, you won't all necessarily have those signs right on the words. It's the tempo of the music and the flow. So sometimes you might have to go on the flow. So for the tenors, it's God is love. Just a little bit longer. Now for the sopranos, we're doing love the Lord, and a quick change, thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, all thy strength, all thy mind. Love the Lord, thy God with all thy heart, for God is love, God is love, God is love. And that's how you're going to sign the greatest commands.